Benjamin Work please come up and lead us in invocation?
Please prepare yourself for grace in the manner you are accustomed to. For food, for raiment, for life, for opportunity, for friendship and fellowship, we thank thee, O Lord. And
Thank you, Ben. Would Arlene and Dana come up for the candle ceremony?
To earn the highest rank in scouting, the scout must spend a deal of time and effort. Therefore, the occasion that recognizes their accomplishment should be memorable. Tonight we shall follow the Eagle Trail as we recognize the accomplishments of Navtej Singh. When a youth becomes a scout, there is within them something that we should call the spirit of scouting. The single lit candle before you represents that spirit. Before the spirit of scouting, the principles of the scout oath and law, it becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone this light may seem feeble, but then multiplied by the more than 31 million youth in scouting around the world. It is powerful indeed. After a youth enters scouting, the scout law that they promise to obey begins to guide their life. One by one, using the flame from the spirit of scouting, we shall light the symbol for each part of the scout law. There are 12 parts each. Each is an important foundation in the building of strong character. A scout is trustworthy. Loyal. Helpful. Friendly. Courteous. Kind. Obedient. Cheerful. Thirsty. Gray. Clean. And rest. In the scout oath, the young scout promises upon their honor to do their best to their duty. First to God and their country. Second, to other people by helping them at all times. And third, to themselves by keeping them physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. You see how the light comes, the spirit of scouting is now beginning to grow and become red, right? Would Will Steingraber come to the stage for the significance of the badge?
The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. They know that a Scout is trustworthy. It's the very first point of the Scout law for a good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, and not only because honor is important to them, but because of the vital significance of the example they set for the other Scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on their home, church, troop, and community. May the white of your badge remind you to live with honor always. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to their family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. Their loyalty to their troop and fellow Scouts makes them pitch in and carry their share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty that means devotion to community, to country, to one's ideals, and to God. Let the blue of the Eagle Badge always inspire your loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been a quality by which people measure themselves and others. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but also the determination to stand up for what's right. Trusting in God with faith in their fellow people, the Scout looks forward to each day, seeking their share of the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle Badge remind you always of courage. The fourth obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be cheerful. To remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile, the red, the white, the blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the second class Scout Award, which has ends turned up in a smile. The final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who toil along the scouting trail, just as others help them in their climb to Eagle. Their performance of a daily good turn takes on a new meaning when the Eagle Scout enters a more adult life of service to others. Eagle stands as a protector of the weak and helpless. They aid and comfort the unfortunate and oppressed. They uphold the rights of others while defending his own. The Eagle Scout knows well and always will be prepared to put forth their best. Eagle candidate Navtej Singh, are you willing and eager to accept the responsibilities as well as the honor of the badge of the Eagle Scout? Right?
Would Eagle Scout Mr. Bosh Barrel please come up to present Knott's Scouting history?
Hi everybody, my name is Bob Farrell, and I've been a leader in this troop for quite a few years, and I just want to say it's been a really great joy to have Navtej be a member of this troop for the past years that he's been in, and be able to be here for this important honor today. So in terms of his scouting history, he was in Cub Scouts, and he earned the Arrow of Light back in February 2018. So now here we are 7 years later. He crossed over into the troop and earned the scout rank in May of 2018. While he was a scout, the scout rank, he did some camping. His first camp out with the troop was onto Eagle at Camp Dakota. Went to scouting the zoo, and then the Polars and Iron Horse Fall Campery at the Indian Mountain Scout Reservation. Later that year, in October, he earned the Tenderfoot. He participated in a lot of campouts, including the Illuminate IMR. Remember that one? That goes way back. Klondike at Camp Vista. Onto Eagle at Camp Dakota. The Glacial Trail camp and hike, 11-mile hike at Long Lake State Rec area. Tasoma Summer Camp, Devil's Lake Camp and Hike, the Creepery, that's another one that we don't do anymore, the Creepery at Camp Long Lake, Klondike again the next year, and then Tasomas again the next year as well. While he was a tenderfoot, Nob earned 7 merit badges, including 2 Eagle requirements. Weather work, first aid, which is Eagle required, rifle shooting, fishing, climbing, cycling, which is Eagle required, and fingerprinting. So Nob earned the second class rank in July of 2020. I did a couple of campouts there at that level. We did a day hike once. It was a 5-mile day hike at Fulling Hill. And then the Creepery, again at Camp Long Lake the next year. As a second class scout, Nob earned pulpit paper, basketry, mammal study, and safety merit badges. Next was first class, which he earned in March of 2021. So from second class to first class was from July to March, so about 9-ish months. The campouts he did there was the Glacial Trail Camp and Hike. And this was in 2021. This is the year we went to Philmont, so we did both days. And so we did the hike both days, so 20 miles that weekend. Tasomas summer camp, where he also worked as a CIT for half the summer. Then as a troop, we had a troop contingent go to Philmont, which was just anybody that's ever been to Philmont. Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, and I think those that haven't, it's to me it's the culmination of everything that you've ever done in scouting up to that point. It's such a wonderful experience, and it's hard, and you don't take a shower for like this. So then continuing on with 2021, Creepery, scouting the zoo the next spring, 2022, Tasomas again, a sad farewell to IMR, the event, in 2022, and then Klondike at Otakota, where we did the polar bear, or at least not finished did polar bearing, which meant sleeping outside. So it's cool. He earned several merit badges as a first-class scout, including environmental science, personal management, nuclear science, inventing, emergency preparedness, elections, and personal fitness, 4 of which were Eagle required badges. Also, while a first-class scout, he was elected to the Order of the Arrow in March of 2021, completed his ordeal that fall at Indian Mound, and then completed Brotherhood in the fall of 2022. Also at Indian Mountain, which happened to have been the last council event that was ever held at Indian Mountain. So it seems like Nob did a lot while he was first class. It's because he was first class for a little bit less than 3 years. So it took a little bit of time to cross that hurdle and make it at the start, but he did. But the clock was ticking, and we sat down and looked at that timeline and thought, if you're going to get Eagle, this is what you need to do. And and the holdup was, as it is for many scouts, is passing out BSA swim jaws. But he did. He taught himself how to swim and did a lot of practice. Got it done. So then he became a Star Scout February 27th of last year. So a year and about 3 weeks of pad to get before his 18th birthday. And so he pretty much already earned all the merit badges he needed. He just needed to get one more Eagle required merit badge, which was camping merit badge. Also, while he was a Star Scout, he staffed NYLT, National Youth Leadership Training. So now I've got life on August 27th, just exactly the required February to August 4 months that you can do that, the minimum amount of time. So he still needed, he needed a few more merit badges. We sat down in October and talked about the merit badges that he needed to get. Citizenship in the community, citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the world, citizenship in society is also unfamiliar. Communication, cooking, and family life. So that was 7 merit badges he needed to get. Turned out that they were all completed in February and March, just before his 18th birthday. Also, Milo Life Scout needed to complete an Eagle project. Nav's Eagle project was for the Eastbrook, his Eagle project was titled Eastbrook Church Food Pantry Garden Beds Project. And I was just, in wanting to be able to describe this, I thought the best description was what was written by Nav in his Eagle Project workbook. There's a section where you have to write how this project will be helpful to the beneficiary. So I'm going to read what Nav wrote, because it's a really great description, and I think it speaks to the quality of this project and value. The Eastbrook Church's mission is to proclaim and embody the love of Jesus Christ in the city and the world. As a result, they expanded their ministry and created the food pantry in an effort to bring healthy food to the ones who may struggle to put food on the table for any reason. As part of this, they have a food pantry garden that is tended by volunteers who grow fresh produce for those who may not be able to purchase locally grown food. Last year, 2024, the garden was able to donate over 440 servings of fresh, healthy vegetables for the food pantry community. However, they had problems with rabbits getting into their existing garden, which reduced the volume of food they could donate. They also have many older volunteers that sometimes have trouble getting low to the ground to do the work. Creating these raised garden beds for the food pantry would eliminate the rabbit issue, increase their volume of vegetable production, makes working the garden easier for anyone who has difficulty getting low to the ground, and would further help the organization live up to its mission statement. So I think that's just really a wonderful project. Also, while a Life Scout, Nav was selected for the Vigil Honor in the Order of the Arrow. He was called out at the Winter Banquet and completed his vigil this past spring in April. Nav was recognized for the Vigil Honor because of his high level of involvement in the lodge and in the Order of the Arrow in general. He had a couple of different positions and then became the chapter chief. He was elected to be the Elawak chapter chief, actually succeeding Abby Bork, who held that position prior to Nav. And then just this past spring, last month, he was newly elected to be the lodge secretary. So Nav's official date of Eagle was the date that we had his board of review, and although you have to have everything done prior to your 18th birthday, the board of review of Eagle happens later after the application is approved. So his official Eagle date is March 31st, 2025. As is often happens in this troop, his binder and application was turned into the council office on a Friday just before his 18th birthday, which was the next day. Nav, in addition to meeting the minimum number of merit badges that you need for the Eagle rank, which is 21, he had 5 additional merit badges, which makes him eligible for a bronze palm. I told you I would have that for you at the Court of Honor, and I realized this morning I did not get that, so that will be coming to you. So sorry about that. And I already talked about the surface project. So it's in Nav's scouting career, I calculated 84 camping nights at least. I had to pull from 2 different systems because of the transition from one to another to scout book. Yeah, so that is Nav's scouting district. So I think that deserves one pledge. Okay, it turns out I'm next on the program as well. Bob asked me to lead the Eagle Charge. So would all Eagle Scouts in the audience please rise? Okay, let's go outside. and repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, and my status and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. You want to come up now, or do you want to come? Okay, come up now. All right, so it's been a tradition in our troop to award a silver dollar coin to new Eagle Scouts, and so now it's my pleasure again to be a part of the Eagle Fort of Honor and present this silver dollar to you. This particular silver dollar is the American Silver Eagle coin. It's the 2025 American Silver Eagle, representing the year in which you earned your Eagle rank. The design of this dollar bears a full-length figure of the Roman goddess Liberty, the embodiment of the notion of liberty itself. The folds of the stars and stripes are flying to the breeze as a background, with Lady Liberty progressing. Sure, maybe you can study it. I don't want to talk to you about it. The folds of the stars and stripes are flying to the breeze as a background, with Lady Liberty progressing in full stride toward the dawn of a new day, carrying branches of laurel and oak, symbolic of civil and military glory. Her hand is outstretched in bestowal of the spirit of liberty. The reverse of the coin portrays a heraldic eagle behind a shield, the eagle grasping an olive branch in its right talon and arrows in its left, echoing the Great Seal of the United States. Above the eagle are 13 5-point stars, representing the 13 colonies. The bald eagle on this coin is the majestic symbol of this great country. Cultures throughout history, from Babylonian times to Native Americans, saw the eagle as a symbol for great strength, leadership, vision, truth, majesty, courage, wisdom, and freedom. Their likeness is found on Greek and Roman ruins, coins, and medals. As they roam the sky, they are believed by many cultures to have a special connection to God. Even with the eagle's magnificent ability to fly, it stays connected to the earth. As Eagle Scouts, we must keep ourselves grounded and lay a solid foundation for ourselves. The eagle's talons, grasping the olive branch and arrows on his coin, are used to grasp and hunt, and reflect the need to utilize the things of the earth. The sharp beak and strong jaw muscles demonstrate the importance of knowing when to speak, how much, and how strongly, lest we inadvertently hurt someone with our words. Eagles are great predators with a powerful sense of energy conservation. They use their great vision to know when to take flight and capture their prey. New vision will open for you that is far-reaching into the past, within the present, and to the future. To align yourself with the eagle is to take on the responsibility and power to become so much more than you now appear to be. A dollar might not buy much these days, but what this one represents is priceless. It is my hope that you will keep it as a memento of this day. As you come across it in later years, may you remember all that it represents. Perhaps someday when you feel down on your luck, you will take out this dollar and remember how you kept going on and the difficulties that you had to overcome to reach this goal. Maybe we'll give you a little something which so often means success instead of giving up. You are today an Eagle Scout, a winner, one of the select few. Never forget it and all that this dollar represents. The eagle on this coin is symbolic of all Eagle Scouts, including you. It is a proud eagle, wings spread wide. It is proud of its great achievements, as you are proud of your achieving the Eagle rank, and you're proud of you. The Eagle never gives up, overcomes many obstacles, never loses sight of its dream, much the same as you have done. You have reached a great goal, and we share your pride and joy with you. Parents, family, and friends, to borrow from the famous Eagle Scout Neil Armstrong, the Eagle has landed. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Bell.
Mr. Joe Bono, Mrs. Ramandeep Kaur, and Mr. Navtej Singh, please come up for the presentation of your skills.
All right, they don't normally let me talk too often during these things, and that's probably for good reason. However, I do have the opportunity to, well, help Dom's family present him with his Eagle. But first, we're going to go through and have you present a few things to your family. So, for your mother, who I know spent countless hours helping you sew patches, patches, getting you prepared for outings, and making sure that you transition from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts. Please present her with your mother. Yeah, because behind every scout there is oftentimes a strong father figure, someone who has been there to help you, to guide you along the path. Please present your father, please. Now, I'm going to have you record and present off with this Eagle level. It'll go right on the out there. Please feel free to drag those fingers as deep as you need to. Thank you. Just backing on, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yep. And if you would go ahead and remove his neckerchief, slided neckerchief. Okay. All right. Now, normally, as a scout, if they were under the age of 18, we would present them with their Eagle Scout patch as well. Now, because he is over 18, he is probably displaying the Eagle Scout knot on his uniform. I think it's doing that. And finally, we would have a certificate to present to him. Due to challenges down at National, because we have some change of presidents and leadership down there, they haven't been able to present the annual certificate yet. However, we do have a letter signed by the president. If I remember right. Not in there yet, but that's okay. So, we'll present with his certificate. And I want to present now as our newest Eagle Scout, 194. Those channels in ours.
Eddie. Bye.
Now, I welcome you to the Brotherhood of Eagle Scouts. About 6% of the youth who enter scouting achieve what you have been recognized for tonight. When you zoom out to consider all scout-aged youth, the percent is 0.03%. The requirements are demanding but fair, requiring perseverance and ability. But I am not here to talk to your past accomplishments, which themselves are great, but your future opportunities. When you attend a scouting function, scouters will recognize you as a doer, and you will be standing as equal amongst leaders. Your Eagle Award will go far beyond scouting itself. When you apply to a college or apply for a good job, Eagle Scout on your application will definitely help. More than that, the things you have done, the leadership, and the character you have developed will stand out better than a certificate and a piece of ribbon. You will have the opportunities to be of service to others, unfortunate and oppressed. He uphold the rights of others while defending his own. The Eagle Scout knows well and always will be prepared to put forth their best. Right, Dave? Oh, I am.
How do you like that?
Like
Think that didn't make sense?
That's right.
you have the opportunities to be of service to others through your school, your work, and through scouting because you know what you can accomplish. In the years to come, you will casually meet people who are Eagles. There will be an innocent bond of camaraderie, for you have each shared an experience. A common experience. Each know the other can be trusted as a friend and as a fellow scout. The comradeship amongst Eagles extends throughout the nation. Yes, even around the world. For the rest of your life, you travel as an Eagle Scout. Congratulations.
So, supposed to do an Eagle Scout. Throughout, I guess, me being the youth, like, it's scouting and outside of Saturday, I've always done things very last minute. Whether it be like a school project or a school essay or writing up my Eagle Scout binder or doing my memory bat is very last minute. And force a habit, I guess. This speech is also been that trend. I find it funny that I always do this, but nevertheless, here I do. First I want to thank everyone who's been a part of my scouting journey. My parents, my family that have done so much for me and supported me at home throughout this entire thing. For my scout friends, scout leaders, for showing me how to be a better scout, how to be a better person. Also created memories for me that made me want to stay scouting. And to, they're not here, but like my school teachers for showing me how kind people can be and just how important it is to show that kindness to everyone else. I guess like a thing that I've learned about the thing that the journey to Eagles taught me is that the people you're around, they can influence you, but you also influence them. So the biggest thing I've taken away from all this is just try to be a good person, try to follow the scout law whatever you can. And not only will you be happy and you'll feel like you've done something great, but the people around you will also feel that. And they'll create like a bond, like how we know it. So, yeah. I guess now I'm going to transition into presenting my mentorings. I have 3 mentorings that I want to give out today. First one is for someone who's known me very long, pretty much been in my entire scouting journey. They've always nudged me to continue my journey and like just nudged me in the right direction this entire time. Whether it be nudging me to do my swimming, or nudging me to go get my bear baddies done, or nudging me to not feel so homesick at my first year of summer camp. I want to give my first mentor pin to my scoutmaster, Mr. Bono. So if you want to come up here. My second pin, I want to also give out to a guy that's always been here, who's been here since the beginning. He's always kind of done like the same thing Mr. Bono has, but in a different way. Just always nudged me to continue my journey. Always kept me up to date on, hey, you probably should get it out. Get this done before it's too late, especially when I was like rushing to get Eagle. I think I had my first Eagle required bear badge with him, which was cycling bear badge. And he's been here with me through scouting in the troop and through the OA. I want to give my second mentor pin to Mr. Farrell. My third mentor pin, even though they are here, goes to a woman in my scouting career who hasn't been there since the beginning, but since joining my journey has always been a positive influence, and has been like a really good mentor, especially in like the Order of the Arrow and all the things I do through that. She's always helped me figure things out whenever I have questions. I would give my third mentorship to Miss Dewis. Before the end of this, I have 2 more pins here that I want to give out. I want to give these out to 2 people who at home have always done so much for me, whether it be teaching me how to do laundry or cooking for me before every camp out, or always reminding me of what I could have forgotten before camp out or before as Eagle Word of Honor, and has always driven me before I could drive to everywhere I needed to be. I want to give 2 grandparent pins to my grandma and grandpa, one Singh and just one guard. Okay, so for this last bit, I don't see many people do this often, but that would be a cool thing to do. It's not in your programs, but kind of want to open the floor out to anyone in the crowd who has any, let's say, stories or memories that they have with me in scouting or in general. I think it'd be cool to like reflect back and see what memories we've created, things we have done over the years. Keep it Scott a book. What's it doing?
I'm Karen. We've been neighbors for a long time. And I think that one of the things that I've noticed over time is how respectful you are to your family. That especially we would see you with your younger sister outside and you know, playing basketball or doing something with her and always watching out for her. And that was when you were about knee high to a grasshopper, and now you're taller than we all are. But it's just been, you've come over and helped us as we've gotten older, and it was harder to clean the snow off of our driveway. You've helped with that a number of times, which we really appreciate. And so that's your service showing there, and just you're a fine young man.
Thank you. Anyone else have any stories? Braden.
Hi, my name's Braden. I'm also a pastor major. First of all, congratulations to you and your family. It's just a great achievement. One small little thing I'd like to add is, you know, Navtej always came with like really good food, so that's always nice. But yeah, so congratulations.
Thank you.
I remember during summer camp at Cooking Murphatch, it was me and Nev and 2 other people, and one day I was talking, we broke the picnic bench. Yeah, so, that was fun that we had to move and then we had to switch out for a new one.
They bring the 50th into syllabus, guys. My name is Jake. I became friends with Tom at NYLT, and I saw that you got the picture. Yeah, the picture book. He took milk from the fridge at NYLT. That was he, Tristan, around it. Well, I was there, but then he got too scared. What's something like that? I just like to remind you to have fun along. What? Anyone else have any?
I remember, I think it was on that last year, and I was helping out with the day. And the troop was heading off, and I was like, wait. And I don't know if it was you or Harleen, but somebody was like, Abby, wait, we have something for you, because it was the day before my birthday. And you come up to me with this giant bag that's literal over it, and inside it says, stuffed lobster with hearts with Valentine's theme. And it sits in my door chair today.
I think we found it like somewhere, and we were like, we need to.
I love it.
It's like. Mr. Bear.
Yeah, so my most vivid, well, let me just back up. So I know throughout your scouting journey, there was a couple times where you were not certain if you were going to continue, or at least that was kind of what we sensed, because there were some absences. So we're so glad that you stuck it out and completed the journey. But for me, it's Philmont, and those of us that went to Philmont on that crew, I mean, I felt like we were a really tight crew. But with you in particular, you were the photographer, and you were always trying to get the pictures. Like we were going up Baldy, and you were doing this, and the stopgap, or what do you call it? And I remember saying that's going to be somebody's going to get really dizzy when they finally watch this. And when I saw the video, yeah. So. Yeah, I'm always going to think of Philmont.
Yeah. That's not worth.
I'm not sure of a specific time, but I want to thank you for being such a good youtuber, such a good friend, such a humble servant. That will make skies. I'm still worried about you. I'm really proud of you. You definitely said and stand before us as a man, a noble character, a cheerful servant, and I want to thank you for that. Thank you.
I have one. So, who are you? I'm Ryan. Hi, everybody. So, this is one time as a boy. I was shocked to me you were doing a white outfit. And I got like lots of like the weirdest stuff, like a weird book. But then it was like a sweet basket, like I like their old whitey, something like that. Dude, I'm not kidding. I got Ryan confused those like all the same. Do we have a picture of you wearing the?
Yeah, there is a picture of me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've one a troop member I've known now since he came to the troop. And especially these past, I would say 4 or 5 years, now was always someone you could expect to step up to a role. He's had a position in Lodge last 4 years now, I think. I mean, you helped with Ordeal, and you stepped up to be chapter chief after Abby became Lodge chief.
Oh, yeah. Fourth, yeah. That was it. But now was always the person you can step up to do either service or leadership. And he's always humble about it. So.
About 5 minutes ago, I was downstairs. I did it my whole life. And basically, when I was younger, I'll say about like 6, now to go to the campout. And I would just start crying. I'm like, please don't go. This kid's so me. Right? And Mr. Bono, I hope you know now, that's why Niles was usually late.
She would be sobbing, and I was trying to leave the door, trying to like hold me back. It was really funny.
I'm Glenn Kaufman. My wife mentioned we're neighbors, and I was in Scouts for a long time, but I had the same problem that you guys mentioned, and that is the swimming. I never got through with that, and then we moved away and we didn't have Scouts. But I always took care of our neighbors' snow shoveling until now moved in, and I developed a severe back injury that incapacitated me, and would be a horrible storm coming, and was wakened about midnight, and I look out the window and there's Niles shoveling my driveway. So I knew he was going to be an eagle.
Anyone else?
I remember when you came to and one of those people you're purposely here, and you have like the Starbucks energy drink for monsters or something. So that would be trying to like either caffeine from the breakfast and say we would just have yours every day.
That was yesterday. I tried to hide it. But too bad. I did. I looked that out of it. Anyone else have any stories or any thoughts? Someone to share? Yes.
So me and Navtej, when we took NYLT, we were in the same patrol. And I remember there was this one day, we were running late for, I think it was church, and we didn't finish our dishes in time. So we hid our dirty dishes in Navtej's I don't think we lost points on our site deduction that time.
For some context, at NLT, there's like, you have your own campsite with your patrol, and there's like, staff come through every day, and like, check your campsite, make sure it's like clean and all that, and if it's not, they dock points off of your checklist, and then at the next
Patrol meeting or
TLC meeting, they would give it to the patrol leader, the assistant patrol leader, and they'd see, hey, we lost this many points, and that became a competition to see who got the most points out of both patrols. So that's the context of that. We were trying not to get docked points for having a bunch of dirty pots out. So it worked.
Literally.
Now, I just find the have a lot of stories that I have without was the semi-situation. But still, I remember when you first stepped, when you were in the window, I was thinking on that I heard, yeah. He was crying and he said, I want to go home. I want to go home. I don't want to stay here. I don't like to go back. And, yes, I think your then later, Mrs. Jody Bono.
So yeah, Judy, yeah. She said you just go and you will be okay until if you stay here, you will be fine. At that time, I doubted maybe you will not come to this point, but I'm surprised you did it, and I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Alrighty, I'll end it. I am Bucky. I am Nav's cousin. I came all the way from Caledonia. A quick thing is that we always call Nav for any little thing. He's a very good electrician. I know all of you know he's going for computer science at MSOE. So what we do, even if something like a screw is off or cabinet is coming off or there's any little thing like painted, we call him and he just like drives on his own. Now he's 18, so he'll just drive all the way like 30 minutes down to Racine side and he'll come and help us. And we also call him very names, like animal names, like monkey, just because he has like a really vibrant energy to him. He would like always helpful. He would not say like, oh, I can't do this, I have this, and he has like so many things lined up. And just like Eagles Out, he has like so many projects, and he is like always up to being helpful, which is really nice in such a world where everyone is so busy, they don't have time, and he is always the one like, I'll do it, I'll come, and he just loves to help us out and everybody else around, as you were saying. So yeah, keep up the good work. You're just humble, nice, kind, and very full of energy, which is what everybody wants around. So yeah, spread the positivity.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks. No more stories.
All right. I would like to invite Mr. Joe Bowman to the stage, the Scoutmaster Award.
Oh, yes, of course, the timers are out. I just wanted to say, before we start, I just wanted to say, I could give you so many stories about now, but those are my memories. Because over the years, when you spend that much time with the scouts in general, it's things that you take away, you learn, and you grow with them. I just wanted to say thank you, Nat, for giving us the opportunity, and I wasn't going to bore everybody to death today. So, with that, we'll launch into my Scoutmaster. It's titled The First Steps.